You were doing it.
Yeah.
Bro, you partied.
All right, so look. So today, we got a quiz today. It is the unit assessment. So we're going over all the different sections that we went through. There's 5 questions that I want to go over for this because I don't know, they're not super great questions, and I don't have the ability to go in and like take them out. So I kind of want to go over those with y'all real quick. And as you work through this, just to make this easier for you to find all the answers, I went through every single question and found out what section of that unit you need to go look and find the answers for. So if you don't already know the answer, or you're not feeling super comfortable about it, you can go into these sections and find the different answers. And they're all kind of in order, so you don't have to flip around a lot. 1 through 3 is absolute dating. 4 through 10 is relative dating. 11 through 13 is the development of Earth section at the very beginning. 14 through 15 is the geologic time. And then 16 through 18 is the history of life on Earth, the one we just did. So if you have any questions, let me know. But real quick, I don't even know why I'm recording this because there's nobody at home today. But unless somebody's
keep it going.
I'm going to keep recording them just in case. You never know. Sometimes people got to leave right in the middle of class. So let's see. Let me go to students and pull up Mr. or Mrs. Generic here. And let's go through this real quick. So we have the unit assessment. What I'm going to do real quick, just so I can actually go back and forth from the book, unless you think you just know it all and you don't want to use the book at all. Open up in a new tab. Open up your science tech book so you can use that. But go ahead and go to the assignment itself.
Jeez, 30 questions?
No, it ain't 30. 18. I went through them all. I know it's 18. You ain't messing with me. So this is the one we're on. We're on Unit 14, Geologic Time Scale through the history of life on Earth. Let's see.
How'd you get there?
Huh?
How'd you get there?
Oh, this, I just clicked on the tech book. So click on the tech book and scroll down into Unit 4. I think there's 2 people who didn't have the tech book link. Was it you? Or was it you, Tanner?
Did it show up at the bottom?
Huh?
Or did it show up at the bottom?
Yeah.
That was me.
Was that you? Let me see if I can figure out how to get you there. I don't know why it's not showing up there. Tanner, pull your mask up.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't be in there guessing.
He said he didn't care about our what's it called?
He said he was worried about his academics.
Yeah, he was worried about his academics.
Not my health.
Our lives.
Who are you talking about?
Hey, we ain't no snitches, man.
I don't even know. Are you talking about like a teacher or a student?
I'm
Or?
not a student. He just
You had him
sat
last year.
there.
You was in my class last year when I had you.
Oh, you're talking about somebody who just went home today because they were coughing? Yeah, I heard about that. I don't know who it was, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, if you feel sick or you got a cough or something, just stay home. We all know that you want to stay home anyways. Why are you going to come up here and possibly get everybody sick?
He said he literally just sat there and said he's more worried about his education than everybody else's lives, yo.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Smart kid.
I should be live then. That's they don't.
Yeah, well,
Ryan. Oh.
President's Brian.
President Drew.
Pedro.
all right. So, here we go. All right, y'all threw me off for a second. All right, here's the 5 questions I want to go through real quick because I looked at these and some of them you should probably know, but a couple of them I want to make sure everybody gets. So that first question, here's the assessment. Question number 1, what are they asking you about? Yeah, the half-life. So just, you don't have to know like all of it, but you know how a half-life works. So I'm going to start out at 100% of the parent, the thing that you start out with. After 1 half-life, how much do I have? 50%. So it goes down to 50% at 1 half-life. After another half-life, what does it go down to? 25. And what do they want us to get down to?
6.25.
6.25. So we got to keep going. What's a third half-life going to do?
12.25.
12.25 or 12.5.
Yeah, then 6.25.
12.5% is the third half-life. And then your fourth half-life is going to be what? Half of that? 6.25. So how many half-lives has this rock undergone? 4. So they tell you the half-life of the rock. What's the half-life of the rock? 600 years. So what do you need to do with that 4 and that 600? Multiply them together. And this is good for the review for the test, which we'll do tomorrow and Wednesday, because you're going to see a couple of questions. Not a lot, but a couple of questions about this on the test. So 6.25% is 4 half-lives, and it's 600 years per half-life. So multiply that times 4, and you should be good to go.
Wait, so what's the answer?
You can do the answer 6. The answer 6 times 4, 600 times 4.
600 times 4.
That's it.
What's your 4?
Pretty much.
All right. Which principle proposes that the Earth's crust has been shaped by sudden events such as volcanic eruptions? There's only 2 ones, and this actually you could look up, but I just want to go over it. It's in the relative dating section. It's right at the beginning of the relative dating section. But they have 2 kind of competing ideas of thought: catastrophism and uniformitarianism. What is a volcanic eruption probably going to fall under? Catastrophism. And so just to kind of recover these, catastrophism is the idea that the Earth was formed very quickly by very violent, sudden events. Uniformitarianism is the idea that the Earth is very, very old and it had gradual changes. We don't see gigantic volcanic eruptions kind of creating new islands like overnight or creating new continents overnight. And so this slow kind of thing that we witness every single day is probably what's been happening for the entire history of the Earth. And so catastrophism is the sudden events. Uniformitarianism is the slow, gradual change over a longer period of time. Let's see, number 6. I don't remember what these were, but I wrote them down. All right, on this one's actually kind of wrong. So it says, a cross-section of the Earth contains 3 horizontal sedimentary layers. And we've kind of seen this before. So you got your cross-section of the Earth. You have your 3 layers. And then what happens? The cross-section is intersected by a dike that ends with a sill injected between the top and the middle layer. So you have a kind of dike that comes up here and a little sill that comes out in between the top and the middle layers. And it says, which one is the youngest? And it says the top sedimentary layer, the dike, the sill, or the bottom sedimentary layer. I would argue the dike and the sill are not 2 separate events. Like, yeah, sure, the dikes had to come up first, but you're talking about hot lava, and so they're not going to cool separately. If the dike came up and the sill cut over through these top 2 layers, they probably should be the same age. Unless they're going to give you a picture which shows that they were 2 completely separate events, in which case you could pick the one that came in the latest. But if you have a situation kind of like this, or at least the way they described it, and I thought about it, it'd have to be both of these. The correct answer that they want is the sill. And so you need to put sill in order to get it correct. But I figured I'd go over that with y'all because you could easily argue that it could be the dike too. They should be exactly the same age because they probably cooled at the exact same time. At least unless they wanted to describe it differently. What's next? Number 9. I think we're still in the relative dating section. How could a sedimentary layer be deposited laterally over a wide region? I kind of know this because I'm more familiar with it, but I looked back through the reading and couldn't find where they kind of hinted at this or specifically told you. So does anybody have a guess? How are you going to deposit a sedimentary layer over a very wide area? Yeah, your sea level rise. No, I thought you said C.
Yeah, it would
My
be
bad.
A because
Yeah,
C's only
it's going to be A. Your sea level rising is going to cover a huge area with water, and you can deposit a lot of sediments when something is underwater. When you're underwater, there's no like erosion happening. You're only building up layers. And so sea level rising is going to allow you to deposit a bunch of sediment over a very wide region at the same time. Where the rest of them, B and D, are just tectonic events or folding events due to stress and strain. And then C, rapidly flowing rivers, is going to do more erosion than deposition. So A is really the only answer, but I couldn't find it explained very well in the book, so I figured I'd go over that with y'all. And then number 13, which of the following minerals do geologists think formed when the first free oxygen released in the ocean atmosphere? You've had this question before, but does anybody remember? Yeah, it's all the above. It's the siderite, the pyrite, and the magnetite. All of these have iron oxide in them, and so a little bit of iron, a little bit of oxygen. So it should be all of the above on that one. So if you have any other questions, please let me know. There's nobody at home, and nobody will ever watch this YouTube video, so sorry for you. But yeah, if you want to watch it at home, just for old time's sake, you can. But it'll be on YouTube. You can't find what?
I can't find the here. Like time to